travel goes back.
G'day, Cameron here with some more great nutrition and recipe ideas. Today what we're going to be going through is some yogurt, how to make your own fresh fermented yogurt. And to start with, the thing that we need most is a raw milk. If you use pasteurized milk, the definition of pasteurization means that they've heated the milk up to a temperature hot enough, which means it's killed every single enzyme within the milk. So we need the enzymes in there and the microorganisms to help break down the lactose to turn it into good bacteria. So if you look only a couple hundred years ago, before we had electricity and refrigeration, a lot of people were using fermentation and lacto-fermenting their foods to help store them and keep them a lot longer. But I'm sure they also realized there was a lot of health benefits that came along with it as well. So this is something that I'm trying to bring out to my clients and to whoever else is out there that is interested in getting a lot more health and nourishment from their food rather than just eating food for the calories. So to start with, the process that we need to go through is that we leave the milk out for about 4 days. If you did that with normal pasteurized milk, you'd smell it and it'd stink. It'd be very rancid and it'd be off. However, because the raw milk has still got enzymes in there and the microorganisms, it keeps it alive and it just keeps turning it into the next process. So if you leave it out long enough, you can start looking at a process where you can make yogurt. If you leave it out even longer than that, it'll start to turn into a cottage cheese. If you leave it out even further still, it'll keep turning into some different food or into some sort of thicker cheese. We've done that, we're going to put it into a cheesecloth and strain it. Whatever's left in the bag is our yogurt, which we're going to show you how to proceed and to turn it into your yogurt. And then what's left is the liquid whey. So I use this liquid whey also as a catalyst for a lot of other fermented foods. So I might make some beet kvass, maybe some ginger ale. I even make my own chutneys and corn relishes and things like this, or sauerkraut. There's a whole bunch of fermented foods out there which are just very, very good for our gut health. So what we're talking about, the benefits to our body, it's amazing for our gut health. You know, it helps increase all those enzymes and the probiotics, so to help boost up the flora within our gut and help balance out that good and bad gut bacteria. It's essential for someone's immune system, especially coming up to winter now. You know, I've already seen stories about man flu is going to be massive this year. You know, so if you want to fight the flu, get away from immunization of the flu shot, start having fermented foods, because about 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So if you can keep your gut nice and healthy and working well, you're on your way to fight the battle. The other thing it's great for is intestinal tract function, and it'll actually help keep your bowel movements nice and regular as well. There's another thing in there called tryptophan, and tryptophan is amazing at helping soothe and nourish the nervous system. So it'll help relax it. So anyone that's wound up or is quite stressed out, something like this will be amazing. The other thing I see is about 90% of my clients, I could almost say 100% of my clients, have all got digestive issues. So to add something like this to their diet will be amazing. It'll help start clearing up a lot of stuff. Anyone that gets colds and flus a lot, any sort of autoimmune diseases will help fixing, because you're starting to fix the gut, which will then in turn help fight and get the immune system stronger. Another thing that we can do as well is I try and have this with every meal, before a meal or during a meal, because I know that if I'm having these good bacteria and the microorganisms and the probiotics, it's going to help my whole digestive system work a lot better. So if you look at the Japanese, they always had some sort of fermented food with their meals, which just kept their gut working real well and easy to digest and assimilate the food that they're having. It also helps regulate function of our kidneys and our liver. And another big thing, if you don't know yet, but our skin is a representation of our gut. So if you've got a nice healthy gut, you're going to have nice, vibrant, healthy skin. So for all you ladies out there that want nice, healthy skin and don't have to wear so much makeup and just look naturally beautiful, you can start having some fermented foods like this yogurt to help really restore your gut, so it will start showing through on your skin. The other thing as well is it's very, very high in enzymes, and if our diet is high in enzymes, the body works so much more efficient and it'll actually increase our energy. So we actually get more vitality from eating foods rich in enzymes. Nowadays, a lot of our foods are either cooked, pasteurized, irradiated. You know, everything is cooked too much, which kills all the enzymes. Our poor pancreas is having to work overtime to produce enzymes. So some of the things that are in there that you might not be aware of, it's very rich in all your B vitamins. So you got B1, B12, and it's abundant. The other thing that's in there is vitamin K. I've been doing a little bit of research on vitamin K recently, and I can see that there's a whole bunch of health benefits if you've got cancer, how it can fight cancer. Anyone with diabetes, this is an essential vitamin to take, and especially for cardiovascular health. They've shown that the vitamin K will get in there and help break down the plaque and help to try and rebuild the artery walls as well. So there's some amazing things in there. So watch along, enjoy, and let me know what you think. So here we go, the ingredients that we need for the homemade yogurt. So the first thing we need is some sort of raw milk. Next thing here we got some sea salt. I usually use Celtic sea salt, or you can use Himalayan. Next one here is cinnamon. So I try and get a nice organic cinnamon. We've got some vanilla bean also. Again, Ovio do some really good herbs and spices like this, which is over in Paddington Way. And then also just some raw honey also. To do any sort of fermentation, there's three sort of things that we need. First one is an anaerobic environment. So I'm just going to leave this closed so there's no oxygen getting into the milk. We also need warmth or some temperature, so we're just going to leave this one out at room temperature. It depends. In summer this could take 3 days, maybe 4 days. In winter it might take up to a week because it's, you know, the temperature's dropped off a little bit and we need to just leave it out that little bit longer for that temperature to do its job. Light acidity to get it all going as well. So we're just going to grab this, and all I'm going to do is just put it up on the windowsill, and then we're just going to leave it there until we can start to see it separate. Alright, here's my milk. It's been about 5-6 days, 6 days since I put it up there. The start of the week was a little bit cool, so it didn't really get that perfect environment to be able to ferment and to separate. So what we're looking for, I usually leave it out long enough till it starts to separate. You can see the liquid whey, this yellow clear liquid here, is starting to separate away from the milk. Okay, so here we go, we've got all the products here. I'm just going to demonstrate. It's nice and easy. I'd usually put the bag straight into the bowl. Get my milk ready. We're just going to pour that straight through. It can get a little bit chunky, so you might need to give it a bit of a shake. Squeeze it all through. Just going to pull the straps nice and tight, and I'm just going to suspend it in the air so it'll allow the liquid whey to drip through it. And there we go there. Here you can see the milk is now in the bag, and the whey slowly starting to seep through the bag. Okay, so here we are. I left this overnight and pretty much during the day as well. It doesn't matter if it drains out too much because we can always add some of the liquid back in afterwards. So what we're going to do now, take it down and empty out the yogurt that's in here straight into the blender. Then we're going to add some more ingredients to that as well. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to add a bit of honey to it. Today I'm going to do something different, maybe just add a little bit of orange zest also. Here we got some vanilla bean, and then there's my yogurt. I'm just going to grate the orange up on the grater here, and then there's the whey there that dripped out from it. So I'm going to keep that in the fridge because I'm going to be able to use that to make up some chutneys, relishes. I might even be able to make some beet kvass or even our own ginger ale. So as you can see, we pretty much used the whole orange there. From there, that's just going to go straight into the blender. Beautiful. Again, there's our magic Celtic sea salt, so we're just going to add a nice pinch of that. Boost up the mineral count as well, and it just gives it a bit of flavour as well. So a nice pinch of that. Here's our vanilla bean, and again it's just a flavour, so I sort of just sprinkle it in. Alright, that's good. And here's the honey, so it depends how sweet you want it. I'm just going to probably put in about 2 dessert spoons, and then if you like later on you can add it up. But normally, if you're adding some strawberries or blueberries, you'll normally get a fair bit of sweetness out of that anyway. Alright, that's everything in there. The cinnamon, we've got honey in there, we've got orange zest, we've got our yogurt, and then we're going to start slowly blending that up. And then if it looks too thick, we can always add a little bit of whey back into it to try and get our right consistency. Okay, all we're going to do now, get our yogurt out and pour it into a nice container that you can keep it in the fridge. So I always like to use glass.
If the life I live becomes the life I had, I close my eyes